Welcome to the Sisters Like Us podcast. I'm Lakin, and I'm 30-something.
I'm Allie, and I'm 20-something. Join us each week as we talk about anything
and everything. So grab a glass of wine
or a bottle, and let's drink about it.
Cheers!
Cheers!
To episode 62 of the Sisters Like Us podcast. We are sipping on some margaritas that we clearly already broke into. Did you take a picture of all this? Okay. So we went to dinner, and we went to Mexican, and so we had Margs at dinner, and then we stopped at the liquor store on our way home, and we grabbed this brand on the rocks. I could have sworn it was in Chicago, but I guess I am making that shit up because it doesn't say that at all.
I don't know, but we grabbed the jalapeno pineapple margarita, which sounded gorge, and it tastes real good.
It is. It's very good. Yeah.
But I also brought down just the classic margarita for us to try.
Are we going to try it now while we're in this section, or are we going to wait till we finish the other one?
I guess let's wait till we finish this one.
Okay. This is good. I wish it was like a smidge sweeter.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty sweet.
I don't know. I feel like I could use, I feel like you don't taste the pineapple, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I do.
Like, to me, it just tastes like a jalapeno margarita, which is delicious. But it doesn't, I don't know, I don't necessarily taste the pineapple. But it's still very good. And if you've never heard of this brand, they make like all kinds of liquors. Yeah. Like, they have like an old fashioned and a Cosmo and like all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. There was one year, do you remember New Year's Eve during COVID when we all just hung out at Mom's? Mm-hmm. Instead of like everybody going and doing their own thing? It was like our bubble of, we had just spent Christmas together, and so we spent New Year's at Mom's. Mm-hmm. Mom and I got a pack of these, like a flight of them. Mm-hmm.
There's an espresso martini one. Is that where you're going with this?
No. We did like a drink blind taste test and tried to make all of you guess what the drinks were.
Oh, yes.
It was like you and Parker and Will and Sam. Mm-hmm. Because I knew what they were and Mom knew what they were. Mm-hmm. And I think that is one of the reasons why we got very, very intoxicated that night.
Yeah, I mean, as we should.
It was New Year's Eve, yeah. But yeah, New Year's Eve, like 2020 into 2021. We did like a flight of these, but that was a long time ago at this point, so. Yeah. Okay. I actually came prepared with some answers this week, but I don't know if I have them in the right order, so you're still gonna have to spark the categories, but I did write some things down.
Okay, so watchings first.
Okay, so I managed to finish it also. I think it's only 8 episodes. Have you seen ads? It's funny because I just said a couple episodes ago that I don't really watch stuff on Amazon Prime. I'm going to mispronounce this. You can correct me because you're French. Because you speak French. Because you're French. Because we're French. A little backstory to that. A couple of months ago, when Lila started giving kisses on cheeks, she was in this phase where she would kiss on both cheeks. Yeah. That, it was her. Nobody taught her that. Mm-hmm. She just was like, well, I'm going to do this cheek, so I also need to give you a kiss on this cheek. Mm-hmm. And so I used to say, do we do that because we're French? And now we encourage it. So we kiss on both cheeks because we're French. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
one day she'll respond and say,
because we're French.
Because I have her kiss one cheek and then the other, and I go, because why? Because we're French.
Allie's the only one who encourages it anymore.
But she also likes to play Duolingo with me, so she's learning French.
She's learning French.
We're French together.
Okay. So the show, Etoile, it's Etoile. I think it's Etoile. I think is how they say it on the show.
Wait, Etoile. Etoile.
Etoile? Okay. So it's about ballerinas. It's about ballet. And the basic premise is a ballet company in New York and a ballet company in Paris swap stars to try and just drum up more excitement about their companies. And
Etoile.
I don't know. Etoile. Okay. Someone's probably screaming at us for how we're mispronouncing this word, but that is not the point of the show. So it's really good. I like all the main characters. The one caveat, it's not really a negative, you might enjoy this, is there's a good bit of it in French. Now, obviously they have subtitles on, but that means it's not a show I can watch like while I'm doing something else.
You have to be like fully
focused at it, which frankly for me might be a good thing because I'm so bad at resting that since I've been watching it, well, I finished it yesterday, but it makes me sit there and just rest and just watch the show and not like multitask, not try to be doing something else. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But that's just like a thing to note. It's definitely not a show you can like have on while you're doing dishes because then all of a sudden they're speaking French and I'm like, I gotta look at the subtitles.
Right. Well, I'm like one to like, I'll watch Spanish movies and shows mainly because like they're very, I like the romance in all of them. And if it's like if I'm like able to really sit and like watch it, I'll watch it in Spanish with subtitles. Otherwise, I do watch it with the English voiceover, which
okay.
The English voiceover is just like kind of irritating because it's like so obviously not them.
Right. And then if you do look at it, it's clearly not matching up with their lips.
Right.
I don't know that they had this option. I mean, maybe they did, but
likely did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. But that wouldn't be the same. And then also, frankly, sometimes I needed the subtitles when the French people were speaking English. Because sometimes their accent, and it's written by the people who did Gilmore Girls and Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh.
And so the dialogue is just fast. Like it's fast, witty, bantery dialogue, which is awesome and entertaining. But they speak quickly. And so even when like one of the leads who speaks French, she has a pretty strong accent when she's speaking English. Sometimes I still need the subtitles for her in English.
Right.
But yeah. And then I obviously also love the dancing. Like there's not a ton of dancing. The later episodes are more dance heavy. The earlier episodes are more like character heavy, and then it's a little more dance heavy. But I love the dancing. So I really enjoyed it. They already they signed the contract originally for 2 seasons. Like the writers were like, we're not committing unless we are for sure guaranteed 2.
Yeah.
So it's not going to come out till next year, but like they're already planning a 2nd season.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, I liked it. When Mom texted us tonight and said, what should she watch? I didn't want to say it in our group chat so I could bring it up here. So I texted her on the side and said, you should watch this because I think Mom would like it. And it's fun.
She liked Nobody Wants It. She would like Running Point, so she should watch that.
Oh, did you tell her that?
No.
Oh, she should watch Running Point, yeah. For sure. She loves Kate Hudson.
Excuse me. Just sad.
But yeah, I told Mom to watch it because I thought she would like it. I mean, I also love anything set in New York. I love like seeing around
90% of things.
I mean, yeah. But there's a lot. Like it's the ballet company is fictional. Like the name of it is not an actual ballet company in New York, but they perform at Lincoln Center. So it's like that, at least that piece of New York is accurate and awesome. So yeah.
I am not really watching anything new. I'm like watching Grey's. I'm actually almost to season 17, so I'm really getting there.
You're getting there. Current season is 21, I think. Okay.
Gosh, show just pisses me off so much.
So we said this before. I think Grey's has been on long enough that we can. It's not like a no spoiler alert. Like I think if it's a current,
we've already spoiled it before.
Yeah, so. I think if it's current shows that we're watching, we shouldn't spoil it. But I think for something like Grey's, especially this far back. So if you are a Grey's fan, which I know some of you are, Allie got to the part where Alex Karev leaves, and it is the shittiest. Oh, it still makes me mad.
Yeah, because there was a couple episodes ago when you were like, "Oh my god, I'm still pissed at the way that like he left."
No, I tried really hard not to spoil it.
No, you didn't spoil it. You were just like I knew he left because I knew from Mom.
Is that like? Okay.
Because where Mom was, Joe was there and Alex wasn't.
Yeah.
And she was. I can already sense something happening between her and Link. So it's like.
Yeah.
I knew, and so then I was like just anticipating it, but also like I've been multitasking a lot when I've been watching it, so I like just like started watching the episode where like Alex leaves. I'm like, when did he leave?
Right, it comes out of nowhere, and apparently it was like a disagreement with like his contract. They like had a disagreement, and the actor was like, I'm done, which is bullshit. After that many seasons on both sides, like he is one of few people that has been there from day one, right? At this point, it's like Meredith, Alex, Bailey, and Richard, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody else that from day one is gone. So like, it pisses me off on both sides that this is how they let his character end. It's just
I will say though, I'm glad it wasn't him dying.
How his character ended going to be with Izzy, fine. That's not my issue. I think Joe deserves better, but that's not my issue. My issue is the letters.
Joe's like one of my favorite characters, so it like makes me so sad.
Yeah. My issue is the letters. My issue is that Alex, the human, does not have a conversation with Joe. That Alex, he has this beautiful character arc where he goes from being this asshole on day one that you absolutely hate.
And you don't realize when they do all of these like throwbacks, like how young they looked. I didn't even realize.
No, yeah. Those, like, their intern days, I mean, they are babies and Alex is a jerk. And then you turn and you like him. And then for him to not be a man and have a conversation with Meredith and Joe is crap. And I'm clearly still very pissed about it.
No, I'm pissed about it.
So when you got to that this week, I was like, ugh.
Well, and then there's everyone else also on the show that's also just like doing stupid shit.
Yeah, it's
like,
just kind of a frustrating
era.
And then have you hit COVID?
No.
Yeah, and then that's also annoying because you like, it's annoying. Like, you just don't, I don't like watching TV shows about COVID.
No, I don't want it, like, and I'm sure it's a whole season.
I don't think it's a whole season because one of the things they do, which I like, is they move on from COVID faster than we moved on from COVID, and they start the episode with, the COVID pandemic is not over. We are displaying a fictional world where we have moved on.
Thank God, because
please still wear your mask, get your vaccines, blah, blah, all the things that doctors would say. I don't remember how long it goes on for, but I also have been
like itching for like, my favorite thing about like starting a new season in a TV show is like how things have changed, and like these past few seasons have just been like continuations, and I'm like,
There's also a new set of interns coming. I think they come in 19, so you're getting there. You're almost to the new babies, which is fun.
Yeah,
like a whole new set of interns show.
I love Levi and Nico.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited to see all these gay relationships bloom. I know they're not. I know it's not forever, but
I mean, I do love Levi.
I love him. Okay. Wait, what are you not telling me? I mean, they're already falling apart, so like, they're already like on the
worse.
Yeah, because he's like such a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
So, anyways. So, I did watch a movie last night, though, called See You on Venus. It was the cringiest, weirdest rom-com I've ever watched in my entire life. It could have probably been like a YouTube movie. It was that bad.
What was it on?
Netflix.
Okay.
I just like needed something to watch.
Well, that's fair.
Like in the background, and it's like this one actress. I'm not gonna say her name, even though I already said the movie title.
Yeah, so easily Googleable.
She's just not a good actress, and I know that like I'm watching movies that like are called like
right. You signed up for it,
like Beautiful Disaster, and like, well, I just revealed her again. It's just anyway. So we're gonna move on. I'm done.
So you haven't watched any of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives dropped yesterday?
Oh, no, I haven't watched. Okay. Have you?
No, I was tempted to click when I finished the episode of, I'm not gonna butcher the French again, but when I finished the last episode yesterday, after Lila went to bed, it was like still early enough that I was like, I could watch, like if I had another episode, I'd watch another episode.
We could also watch it after we finish Dexter.
Well, so that's what I was going to ask you. So first off, I was going to start it, and then I held off because I knew then I wouldn't go to bed. Like, I would watch one episode and be like, I need to watch another one, right? And I needed to go to bed. So I needed something that was going to be one and done. And luckily, the other thing I've been watching, I know I mentioned that I watch SVU a regular, but I also watch the other Law & Order. That's the spinoff, Organized Crime. It only comes out on Peacock now instead of like airing on NBC first. And so it comes out at like noon on Thursdays instead of having to wait. So I watch that. Anyway, I was going to say, do you want to try to watch together? Given how hard it's been for us to watch Dr. Odyssey.
I feel like it hasn't been hard for us.
We still have like 7 episodes.
Well, we're going to watch it today.
Yeah, we started it in November. I'm just saying. we don't have to decide right now whether we want to.
Well, let's see how many we get through tonight and then go from there.
Okay. I feel like we might just want to watch it on our own and then
Okay.
Debrief here.
Okay. You want to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to wait.
Okay.
I just feel like it's one of those shows that if we don't watch it, we're gonna start seeing clips on social media, and like things are gonna get spoiled.
Yeah. I mean,
It's one of those shows.
I'm not really that like hooked on it. I don't really care if it
Yeah,
gets
that's
spoiled.
fair. You're right. It's not really like a spoiler kind of show. I
Like-
mean, it is and it isn't.
Reading?
I finally started and I'm devouring the Sunrise on the Reaping, the Haymitch book. So I'm like 50% of the way through.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I mean, she is just such a good author. I mean, we've known that. What are you doing?
I have a pimple.
Y'all, I'm trying to talk about my book, and Allie is looking at her pimple.
I can't have a pimple. My birthday is next week.
Okay, well, you can take care of that. Anyway, she is such a good author, a writer. I mean, we knew that. Obviously, The Hunger Games is fantastic. This one is, I think, almost even more entertaining than the Snow one. Partially because Haymitch is a much more likable character, but also because it was only 24 years before The Hunger Games, as opposed to like 70 years or whatever. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of, I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to, if you ever decide to read it or when you eventually watch the movie, there's a lot of characters from that we know and love from The Hunger Games that are in this one. Obviously not the kids, but like the other generation. So, which is really fun. It's really cool. So far so good. I'm really loving it. And I've seen like, I know we talked a lot last week about casting. I've been seeing like people, they've been releasing the cast for it. And so.
Oh, speaking of, going back to watching, they've confirmed a season 4 and 5 of Bridgerton.
Oh, I saw that.
And
no, 5 and 6.
Or 5 and 6.
Yeah, 4 is releasing next year, and they've confirmed 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm. So maybe does that mean we're getting ahead of it? Are they getting ahead of the game? Like, I'm gonna be fucking 40 by the time like the last one comes out.
So I think it's possible that they could get ahead of it. I think, like we talked about, Bridgerton is also one of these shows that requires a lot of fucking effort into filming, like the costumes and the sheer number of people.
Yeah.
Why is my phone exploding? Who is texting me?
Not me.
Oh, it's Mother.
Why?
Anyway, so Mom is watching the Sex and the City reboot and texting me about it.
That's good for her. I don't think it's that good. I'm trying.
Oh, I like it, but you also, I feel like, are too young in general.
I just recently watched all of Sex and the City.
Sure, but even then, they're older than you are now.
I know the movies.
And yeah, and so then in the reboot, they're even older.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, anyways, I'm so I'm almost done with the last book of that Chicago series.
So close.
So close. It's so good. These last 2 books were definitely better than the first 2. But I was listening to last week's episode.
Wait, hold on, really quick. That's a really good example of one of the things we were talking about is that like you just get better as an author, right? Like your first books are typically not as good as your later books, right? So if you think about it, right, like you just read them all back to back. So you saw her growth as an author from book 1 to book 4. Like,
yeah,
it's okay. Like your first book isn't going to be perfect.
Right.
Sorry, I wanted to say that. Anyway.
But also speaking of last week, what we were talking about is I was saying how I was in like a standstill with like my book.
Yeah.
And that is no longer the case.
Someone had a breakthrough.
Because I remember also in last week's episode, if you listened, I said that I was like on page like 30 maybe of like Google Docs pages. I just hit 100.
Oh shit.
And I'm on chapter 33. And I know exactly where it's going. The conflict just happened. And now it's, the
messy middle.
I have basically every chapter planned out now.
Damn.
And my goal, which I'm not putting too much pressure on it, but my goal, what?
I thought you weren't going to set like a...
I wasn't. But my friend who's been like reading it as I go and been like helping me and like editing it and stuff. Well, not editing it because the whole other part of it is I have to go all the way back to the top and put in detail and put in more detail. Because right now it's just like the bones. Like,
that's fair.
Like... And I think I'm putting detail in, and then I like read it back, and I'm like, no, I could have like gone more specific on like, we're getting coffee on June 1st. I think I can have it done by then. So that's kind of like my goal.
Okay.
To have it done by then. Which is just crazy. And I have a title. Very
wow.
exciting.
Look at all that progress.
I know. I was listening to one of Taylor Swift's songs, as one does. And it was, the way it was describing, like, what was happening was like, literally word for word what was happening in my book. It's from the album Red. That's all I'm going to give you. And I was like, I literally took a video of myself, like, live reacting to, like, I was like, that is it. Because, like, it makes perfect sense. It's, like, exactly what I'm going for.
Which one of her exes is that about?
I don't know. Who knows? But I'll tell you offline, but I'm not going to tell everybody.
Okay. Speaking of, remember how a couple weeks ago we were like, where did Taylor Swift go? Mm-hmm. She emerged. She was seen.
So apparently, she's about to announce Rep at the VMAs.
That's people have been like, she's gonna announce Rep. She's gonna announce Rep. And then like it doesn't happen.
City Wade actually had some pretty good evidence. Like she apparently like switched her on her website, like her merch order to like literally be like I don't know. But we'll see what happens. But yeah.
When are the VMAs?
I don't know. I feel like you should just wait. I wouldn't even read it.
Really?
Yeah, I would just wait until I finish the first draft.
Okay.
Because I'll finish it, print it, make notes, go back. This whole process.
Okay. I'll wait.
But it's getting to it. I feel like it's going to be very similar to like an Emily Henry Colleen Hoover length, like not super.
I think that's perfect for that style of book.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't want like anything longer.
Yeah, I also kind of came to the realization why I don't like Emily Henry. I think I've been lying to myself and saying that it's because it doesn't have substance. I think it's because it doesn't have enough spice.
Yeah, her books are pretty tame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things.
It's a lot of implication. Like she'll be like, she'll have them like have this passionate like make out, and then she'll
and then the next chapter will be like, so we did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I was kind of trying to go in that direction, just with the fact of like, I don't want like my dad to read this one day.
Yeah, so earlier this week, Allie is like paranoid about the spice level of her book because of her dad. Like,
yeah. And then when I was writing it, I'm like, one of the things I've been telling myself is I want to write something I want to read.
Yeah. And
I would not want this chapter to end like this.
Right.
I would want to know like
details.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. And
I'm not detailed into the ways that like the books I'm reading right now are detailed. Oh my god. But I'm like maybe a little bit spicier than Colleen Hoover gets sometimes.
Okay.
But another thing I kind of noticed as I've been writing is it's really hard, because we were talking about how we can read like two things at once with like nonfiction and fiction. Yeah. It's been really hard for me to stay focused on the book I'm reading and the book I'm writing.
That's fair. I feel like it's a similar type of book.
Well, and it's the same trope right now that I'm writing and reading. So I'm getting a lot of inspo, which is nice, but like also trying to like separate the two. But yeah, so who knows, maybe by the next time we chat, I'll be almost done. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
And I get so much inspo from Pinterest. Like, because I'll just be like scrolling and like see things and be like, oh, I want to incorporate that. Like, for example, I like saw a picture of like this girl and this guy, and like the girl was wearing like a polka dot dress. So I incorporated like this whole chapter of like, it's like she's wearing a polka dot dress, and it's like he'll never forget that polka dot, like, you know, like it's really easy to get inspiration, like little quotes that come up. I'm like, oh, that's really good, I want to include that, like, you know, stuff like that. So whenever I'm in like kind of like, where is this chapter going, I'm like,
you scroll Pinterest. That's cool.
Yeah,
I've never heard anybody say that before, but that's cool.
Yeah. Buying. Did you buy a couch?
I bought a couch.
Yeah. It's so helpful when I listen to the episode
before we record. I know,
which I need. You really need to start making me do, because you already did, and so it's really helpful for me to be like,
yeah. We bought a couch, y'all. Oh my god, it's gonna take a couple weeks for it to get here. It said like 2 to 4 weeks. So, but Mom, so hopefully it gets here by the wedding. Mom was hounding me because the Shaughnessy kids are staying here the weekend of the wedding, but I have room. First off, I have a couch that already exists upstairs. I have a queen bed. Lila will be at my dad's, and then I have a blow-up mattress. So
Okay.
like, there's plenty of places for them to sleep.
Yeah.
If the couch doesn't get here before
Right.
the wedding, but hopefully it will.
Well, Lily can also stay at mine.
Sure.
Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
Cheers.
It's actually kind of the same fabric as these chairs. It's like it's a performance velvet. It's like a beige. Called like sand beige or something like that. It's from a brand called 7th Avenue, which is not a super well-known brand, I feel like, but I was served, this is like Instagram marketing at its finest, right? I probably Googled sectional or, not sectional, modular couches twice maybe. And then all of a sudden I started seeing these ads for this brand called 7th Avenue. And they make modular couches and they have a killer guarantee, like warranty, compared to like Lovesac, which is like the big name brand. And it's actually less expensive than Lovesac. The other thing that was holding me back from all my couch research is I really wanted to sit on a fucking couch in person before I bought one. Like I'm all about online shopping, but something like a couch where I'm spending so much money on it, something that we are planning to have for a very long time. And so they had a showroom in Houston. And so when we were in Houston like a month ago, we went to the showroom.
Oh,
and
smart.
so we got to sit on the couches.
And these are the samples that you showed me.
Yeah,
Okay.
the fabric samples that I showed you. Because we went to the showroom, and they have two different depths. They have like a regular depth, and they have like an extra deep. We went extra deep, obviously. Because like cozy. And then they also, it's so cool, because it's modular, they had like little tiny couch pieces that you can play with and figure out like what the layout is of your couch that you want. And you can like mess with them and decide. And of course, like Lila also was playing with them. It was very cute. And it was like, the showroom was also in this like old house, which was so cute. Like what a better, like best way to showcase couches than like in a house.
Yeah.
And so they had lots of different layouts for you to look at, and they had all the fabrics to sit on. They had big swatches of all the colors because they didn't have every fabric obviously in a couch. And you could sit on them, and like it was, and the guy that worked with us was so helpful. And so he kept like emailing, he kept following up and being like, hey, you know, what do you think? And we finally like clicked the button a couple days ago. So
congrats.
yeah, I'm really pumped. So hopefully, it doesn't take too long.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's very exciting.
I'm hoping it's here by our housewarming. That was more important to me than the wedding.
And that one's coming down here.
No.
Oh.
The new one or the one upstairs? The new one is going to be down here.
Oh.
The whole reason that couch is upstairs is because it's...
Right. Okay. Yep. No, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay. Only is it modular in that it would fit down the stairs if it was already put together, but they're going to put it together down here, so it just will like be down here. Yeah.
Right.
So the plan is on like a regular basis, we're going to have it be in like an L. But it will, if you move one piece around with an ottoman, right? Like an L with an ottoman. But if you move the end of the L around, then it becomes a pit. Like a big, you know, where like it's like just 6 pieces all together, and you can just like lay and watch TV.
Love.
It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you. I love that.
Then we won't have to sit on the floor and watch Dr. Odyssey.
Yeah.
Actually on the nugget. Lila has one of those like nugget play things, and we lay on the nugget and watch it. Because Allie cares about, I think this TV is all of like 10 inches bigger than the one upstairs.
I like a bigger TV.
Okay, whatever.
So last week I was talking about how I've been potentially buying a new platform to do for wedding planning. And I decided to pull the trigger on it because I was talking about it with a potential client, and she really liked it. And I was like, okay, I told myself if she books with me, I will make the commitment because I can do contracts, invoices, planning, everything in one place. And
Which
I
is
think
really nice.
that's just the best case scenario. And I found out this afternoon that she is going to move forward with me. I got a little bit nervous because I hadn't heard from her. And can I just say something? Like, if anyone is ever reaching out for services, and like you probably get this too, like just if you decide not to work with someone, let them know so they're not like sitting in this unknown land of like having to follow up with you and ask you and then you just keep ignoring them because it can get so frustrating.
Yeah.
And so I was so grateful for like this couple and their transparency. Like they were like, hey, like just so you know, like we will let you know we're just.
So it's funny that you say that because I had that hesitation when we were wedding planning. I was like, does it come across as rude if I
No, I want to know if you're talking to other people, and I want to know.
Okay, well, first off, I feel like you have to assume they're talking to other people.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, frankly, when they're planning a wedding, if they're spending that much money on a wedding, is only going to interview one of your of like that like services, like photographers and that kind of stuff. Maybe a venue, people only look at one to start with because it's their dream location. But like otherwise, I feel like most people interview at least a couple, right? Or like schedule calls with at least a couple. But like we had like 8 photographers that we had calls with. And I remember after we chose our photographer, I was like, do I email all 7 of these other ones and tell them no? Because I felt bad doing that, but then I also felt bad not doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, so my job, like my full-time job, I do a ton of vendor reach out. I got 50 couples and I'm reaching out to, rehearsal dinners, photographers, all these vendors. And so when they reach, I don't have the capacity to reach out to 5 photographers for one of my 50 couples.
That's fair.
And then have to be able to go back and be like, hey, just so you know, they went in a different direction. If they reach back out to me, I will let them know. Mm-hmm. But if you're a couple I would totally recommend like just letting those people know, because especially if you haven't heard from them in like a week, okay, maybe they've just like kind of gotten the hint, but like especially if they're like following up with you, like just be like,
well, that's rude if they follow up and you don't say I went with someone else.
Yeah. So
like that. Yeah. That's shitty.
Yeah. So super grateful that they were like super transparent with me and then ultimately decided to go with me. I'm so excited. It's my first wedding coaching client, which I know I've talked about on the pod before, how like that's something that's like not in the market that like
I used one, but
well, yeah, not in the market in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Like not something that anyone like most of the time I have to like explain
what it is. No, that's fair. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it when I got mine.
Yeah, and so I sent that contract over with that platform, Aisle Planner Pro. The only thing I'm like not sure about is like the invoice part of it, because I don't really necessarily want them to like have to pay a processing fee, so I might not have them do that, but I don't know.
What were you having people do before?
Just like Zelle.
Oh yeah, but they don't. So there's a processing fee on top of you paying for. Is it a credit card fee or a processing fee?
I'll show you and you can tell me.
Okay, because if it's a credit card fee, there's nothing you can do about that. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have that on like Zelle also, unless they're paying cash. But a processing fee is stupid. If you're paying for the platform, you shouldn't also have a processing fee.
I'll show you and you can let me know. But yeah, I decided to go with that.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And it's my 5th client, so I'm halfway to 10. And your bottle of Prosecco that you got me watches me on my desk every day.
Is that motivating or like depressing?
I mean, it's motivating, but also like I feel like what's frustrating is I've been so close, and then it's just like, because you're not going to book everybody.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't have put 10. I feel like I put 10, you already like had 3, and so in my head I felt like it was going to happen faster.
I mean, having 5 booked weddings in under a year of starting my business is a lot.
Right, so if you're opening that champagne bottle at 2 years, like that's not crazy. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And this wedding that I just booked, this wedding coaching, is October of 26.
I remember you said that.
Yeah, so I got time.
It's here.
It's here.
Yeah.
I
know you were in conversations with some couples that were in different places.
Yes, I have one that I might go to Arizona for.
Yeah.
So TBD on that. But, yeah.
So fun.
Using.
Okay, so
Wow, you're so prepared this week.
I am so prepared this week. So what I wrote down actually was what I'm not using to start, which is I'm not using straws because I had to get a tooth removed, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You probably, if you're watching on YouTube, you probably can't see because A, we're so far away, and B, it's on the side of my mouth that's on the inside.
I haven't noticed that at all, so.
So I filmed a clip for my own channel earlier today that was a lot closer in on my face. And
I think sometimes, like, when you're talking to the camera, though, you do, like, open your bottom lip a little bit more.
Okay.
Instead of when you're just casually talking.
That's probably fair, yeah. But I think if I'm super close and I'm dead on, you would be able to tell that my tooth is gone. Eventually, I'm gonna get an implant, guys. Like I'm not gonna have a hole in my mouth for forever. But right now, I have a hole in my mouth. It's like the tooth between, I don't know what it's called. It's the tooth on the bottom between the pointy one and my molar. So you have like another, you know what I mean? The pointy
mine's
one.
pointy too.
That one, but there's like the obvious pointy one, and then that one. That's the one I lost. It was supposed to be cavity filling, and the dentist was like, "Just kidding. This tooth is not savable. So bye, tooth.
Peace out.
Peace out, tooth." And it's funny because my dentist has one of those posters in her office that says, "Do you have to brush all your teeth?" And it says, "Only the ones you want to keep." And I'm like, ouch, ouch, because now I lost a tooth. But oh well, it is what it is. At least I got all that gunk out of my body, and eventually it has to heal for a couple of months before you can get an implant. Like the gums have to fully heal before you can get your fake tooth put in. But at the same time, you can't get any dental work done when you're pregnant. So if by the time I'd be ready for that, if you know, TBD on that situation, y'all. But if that does happen, then I will just delay it until afterwards, which she said is fine. So
yeah,
which is also fine because it's expensive as fuck.
Yeah,
she was like, "But don't worry, we have like payment plans." I'm like, "Thank God," because it's not covered by insurance.
Of course
The tooth getting pulled is covered by insurance, but the tooth, like the implant getting put in, is not, because it's considered cosmetic. Like, cosmetic? I'm missing a tooth. It's like when I don't know that I've ever talked about this on the pod. When my earlobe split, and I had to get that sewn back together, and they were like, "It's considered cosmetic." And I'm like, I literally have like a snake tongue on my ear right now. Like, it's cosmetic? Like my tooth or my ear. It was so ridiculous. Those memories actually popped up recently because Sam and I had only been dating like a very short amount of time
when that happened,
and he was like so sweet and supportive. Like that was a really good,
was like, yikes.
Yeah, that was a really early green flag for Sam for sure. Anyway, sorry, tangent on that. I'm not using straws.
Okay.
Sad.
What are you using?
I think I mentioned this on the pod before, but I just recently replenished this stuff. So I thought I would talk about it. It's a couple skincare things from, you're gonna make fun of me, Trader Joe's.
Okay.
There's two things in particular that I really like.
Okay.
One is, and I can send you a picture of like mine to you so you don't have to dig them up, but it's these like tea tree oil cleansing pads.
Okay.
And I really like them for days that I don't wear makeup, but like when I'm getting ready for bed and I don't want to fully wash my face because like I'm not taking makeup off, but like there's obviously gunk on my face, and it just I like them. And they're like, have little bumps on them, so it's kind of exfoliating, and I kind of like it. And then they also have an exfoliating face wash that I like too, like the really, really tiny micro beads exfoliating that I only use like once a week, but when I do use it, it feels really nice. And they have that too, and it's like a really good price because it's Trader Joe's. So
interesting.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were gonna make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. I just think it's like,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But they actually have a lot of great like toiletry section. Now some of the stuff I've tried is a bust. Okay, some of the stuff is like not worth it.
I would love for Trader Joe's to like expand and like be like a Target.
A Target. Right. The Target aisle at Trader Joe's is like half of one side of one half of an aisle.
Yeah.
Like it's got like one option for toilet paper, one option for paper towels, like a small skincare section. You know what I mean? Like it's really small.
Yeah.
But that's what I am using. Or replenishing, really.
That's lovely. I am using my therapist pieced out.
Oh yeah.
So I have
That's such a bummer.
moved to a different company.
Okay.
Because I wanted to follow her.
Oh.
Because I said
Yeah, I mean, when you find a therapist that you like.
But it's called Astute Therapy.
Okay.
And they have yoga and meditation and acupuncture and massaging and like spa like in the building.
Is it here?
Yes. It's in like Lakeview or something.
Is it expensive?
It's covered by my insurance.
All the stuff.
I don't know. But I'm like, oh, wait a damn minute. So I am using a new therapy place.
But are you going to go meet her in person? Because you were doing it like on Zoom.
No, I'm still going to do telehealth.
Oh, okay. Telehealth.
Telehealth.
All right. Shall we move on to the classic Marg?
Yeah.
It smells very lemon lime. It's funny because it's like totally clear.
It's not totally clear. It's quite foggy.
I meant that it's not like green.
Whoop! Whoop!
Y'all, it's strong.
Whoop, baby!
I think I convinced Sam to get up with Lila tomorrow.
Oh.
Given that, okay, so Sam, the boys are having the bachelor party this weekend. And it's here in Chicago. And they have an Airbnb mostly for the guys that are in from out of town. And the people that like live here are not staying there. And so Sam is staying here. Although I did say if you end up crashing on the couch there, like, it's fine. I think I'm more concerned about that for tomorrow night than I am about tonight. Because tonight, well, that said, tonight they're doing dinner and then like games back at the house. So like maybe he will end up on the couch there. But yeah, so the boys are
having a time.
The boys are having a time this weekend. I mean, they're doing very typical boy things. They're playing golf tomorrow, and then on Sunday they're going to the baseball game.
Wow.
So, but they're also doing a party bus tomorrow night, so that'll be fun for them.
Yeah.
And then they're potentially going to the casino. Unfortunately, our youngest brother is not of age for that adventure, so they're kind of trying to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah.
So, poor Christopher.
Well, that was probably one of the reasons why they did Barcosina, so that they could do a full dinner with that many people and have someone that wasn't 21.
Versus, like, what?
Actually, yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Anywhere they would go to dinner, it would not be a big deal.
Yeah.
I think most of the activities is going to be totally fine, except if they want to go to the casino.
Yeah.
That's when it's going to be an issue. Yeah, I was talking to Andrew the other day, and I was saying how originally you weren't going to be 21 at my bachelorette.
Yeah.
Before it got postponed. I mean, most...
We didn't really
But we had a time at that piano bar, and we would have not been able to go to the piano bar.
And I found what's his face.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys want to hear a funny story?
Oh, my God.
What was his name? I can tell you right now. Anthony.
Oh, my God.
So... when we were, oh my God, look at how cute this picture is that Katie just posted of
Allison.
Sorry, I don't know why I ended up on Instagram. So when we were in Disney for Lincoln's Bachelorette, I don't know, I think I was just like on a peak of
life.
Of myself.
You're also 21.
Like, yeah, no, I was just like killing it.
Yeah.
Killing the game. And I was wearing a really cute outfit that night too, that little black dress. Yeah. I
just shared that picture with you guys. I'm going to post it here because this picture popped up. I was looking for pictures to post on Mother's Day, and there's a picture from my bachelorette that I love that has like my stepmom, my mom, my mother-in-law, and my stepmother-in-law from my bachelorette. And while I was looking for it, I found the picture of me, Mom, Allie, and Lindsay. And in that picture, Lindsay is super blonde, and Allie is super brunette.
Mm-hmm. But not super brunette, but I was brunette.
I mean, in comparison to Mom and Lindsay.
Yeah, but there were other pictures on that weekend where my hair was like my natural, like...
in the sun, whatever. It was also nighttime, but it's a cute picture of the...
Well, speaking of that, I was like I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, and like I know it's like getting warmer out, and like I should go brighter and blonder and all the things, but like...
it doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. But
I like now, like it's been a while, and my like roots are kind of coming out like a lot more, and I like the like warmness of it. So I don't know. We'll see what I fucking end up doing. I'll probably end up goddamn going blonde again.
Well, James always makes Mom like super blonde, so he'll probably talk you into blonde. So just like maybe decide before you get there.
I think it's just like I'm kind of leaning more towards like a caramel.
Okay.
Like I don't want him to go like warm with the yellows. I want him to go like lighter with the browns, if that makes sense. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see.
Okay, tell the story.
Because I also kind of want to go red again.
Oh my God. You want us all to be redheads? You, me, and Parker?
Well, because last time he did more red, and so this time I'm like, maybe if he does even more red. So, who knows? We'll see.
Okay, so we go to the piano bar.
Yeah, so we go, well, no, first we went to that, like...
yeah, they have like a dance club on the Disney boardwalk.
And it was like really concerning and weird. And
well, okay, so first off, we should also say we went out on the Sunday night of the weekend, which maybe wasn't the best planning, but frankly, like, it was the only option because... Friday night, we just wanted to chill and play games at the house, and Saturday we were at Disney. So, like, the only night to go out was Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, it was a holiday weekend. It was MLK Day or whatever holidays in January.
Yeah.
It's MLK Day, right? And President's Day's in February. Whatever. So we thought there would be more people out. And so...
Well, yeah, no. I mean, at the dance club, there was, like, no one out. But there was that, like, some, like, weird men there.
Yeah, and I didn't even care about that. It was awkward that we were, like, the only ones there. And then the other annoying piece of it is that this was January of 2022. And masks were still required in a lot of places. Like, on airplanes, we still had to wear the masks. And Disney, being Disney, was still requiring masks indoors if you weren't, like, eating or drinking. So when we were on the dance floor, they kept trying to tell us to put our masks on.
I do remember
and
that.
And we were the only people on the dance floor was us. And I was like...
And we ultimately were like, no. So then we went to...
Right, so we were having fun. Like, the music was good. And honestly, it was a little awkward that we were the only ones dancing. Yes, but, like, I could have dealt with that.
I was having a great time.
Yes, if they hadn't kept coming up and telling us to put our masks on. I was like, I'm literally on the dance floor alone with my friends. Like, what? So anyway, so then we went next door to the piano bar, which was always the plan.
It was poppin'. It was, like,
it was poppin'.
Straight out of a movie where, like, because it was like a little boardwalk. And, like, everything was dead. And then it's, like,
going to the piano bar?
Yeah, people coming out and going. And you're, like, it's, like, it reminded me of, like, Footloose. Like, when you're, like...
Going to, like, the saloon.
Yeah.
And it's, like, poppin'.
Like, bumping. And you're like, oh, shit.
This is where the people are.
Yeah, this is the place to be. But anyways, the story is basically there was this cute guy that walked in who was, like, with his friends. And I say cute guy, I mean, like,
He was cute.
Yeah, no, he was cute, but, like... I didn't talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
So
right. You don't know his personality at all.
I have no idea. And, like, we were just, like, catching each other's eye, like, the whole time. Like, at one point, we, like, took a shot together, but it was, like, a group of us on the corner. It was, like, kind of weird. And, like, something about me that, as I've gotten older, that I've realized is that, like, if you're about it, come up to me. Like, I am not, like, I am so past the, like... For a while, I was like, okay, like, I could go up to people, but, like, I'm so past the, like...
Yeah, the eyes and the...
Like,
yeah.
just, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, you're like, maybe for you, it's like, if you don't have the guts to, like, do that and come up to me, then you're not it. Like, it's not gonna be...
And I have, like, decided that, but...
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways, it was kind of fun, flirty, whatever, and I was like, wait, should I, like, put my name and, like, number on, like, a napkin, like... full, like, movie-esque, like, you know, but probably never see him again type thing. Sure as hell, I wrote my name and number on a napkin, and I slipped it to him, like, right as we were leaving, and I remember we were walking out, and I was like, oh my god, and we hadn't even gotten in our Uber yet, and he had texted me. And but it was, like, so cringy. He was like, hi, hard eyes, and then it turned into, like, oh, like, this is my boyfriend, like, some girl, remember, like, I had a random number that was, like, this is my boyfriend, and then he ended up saying...
That's, like, what we did the rest of the evening, was, like
text
Anthony, like, the rest of us in the kitchen.
And I texted him all day the next day at Universal.
At Universal, yeah, I did.
And he was, like, unfortunately, probably, like, at Magic Kingdom or something.
And we'd already done that.
Yeah,
so been there, done that.
No, literally. He did not have a girlfriend, just so you guys know. It was literally a joke. He was probably I think he was also, like, on or, like, with his friends or whatever.
I don't think a bachelor party was in Disney World, but...
I ended up adding him on Snapchat. I was 21, okay?
Snapchat.
And I still have him on Snapchat. And, like, sometimes he'll, like, post really weird things. I don't really watch Snapchat stories anymore, but, like, he's weird. So, thank God. But that's Anthony Disney.
Anthony Disney. Speaking of Disney, we just officially decided that we're going to Disney around Lila's birthday. Sam has a work trip that we don't have to be there for, but we are gonna be there for sure. Wait, what? Are you going to the no, don't read them. Don't read them.
Wait, I found him. Wait, no, I have to.
No,
I have to.
Allie. Oh my god, this poor guy.
Hi, what's your name? Anthony. Where are you visiting from? Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
How about you? Why did you leave? Well, I go because we had to leave because we're getting up tomorrow to go to Universal. Oh, his flight got delayed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh yeah, and I said, I got this weird text and he was like, LMAO, that was my friend. I don't have a girlfriend. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and then I never responded to him and he goes, K cool, LOL.
Oh, I remember that.
And he was like, what did you want out of this? I'm like, I don't know.
I was feeling bold and I wanted to give a guy my number.
Yeah, and then we stopped texting 3 days later, so.
Whatever.
It was fun.
It was entertaining. But yeah, we're going to Disney as a family. I'm very excited to take Lila Bug to Disney, especially because now she knows who Minnie Mouse is. She has these new shoes, and if you ask her who's on her shoes, she says, Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
So, yeah, Sam has a work thing during the week, and so we're going to stay through the weekend, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
So excited. I feel like this is one of those things that it is like, yes, she is going to have fun, and yes, she is also not going to remember it. So it is 1,000% for me, and Sam, mostly me, for me to see Disney through her little 2-year-old eyes, as opposed to like an age she will remember it. We will go back. I love Disney. I'm somewhere in between the like never going to Disney or like we'll go once and like the people who go every year. I don't want to go every year, but I do want to go a handful of times in my kid's childhood.
Yeah, and when she's a little bit older,
Yeah.
we'll hit Universal because that's Auntie Allie's favorite.
Yeah, it is. I don't know that we're going to make it to the new Universal park on this trip. I just don't think there's going to be time, and like Lila's not going to love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bummer, but we'll make it there someday. Someday when she falls in love with Harry Potter. That's all for categories, yes?
Listening, but I'm not listening.
Okay, well, so I'm not necessarily listening to anything new, but the thing I had on my list for last week that I couldn't bring up because I didn't have my phone and I didn't know what it was, has to do with the House of Ilona Mars podcast. So they were talking about, I think they're on episode like, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something at this point.
Okay.
And they were talking about how they started out, how they like wear super cute stuff. Like actually their first episode, they like got hair and makeup done. And they still like, then they kept like wearing cute outfits. And they're like, eventually we're going to end up in like sweatshirts with no makeup. And I'm like, can relate. Can relate. We definitely started like always wearing cute outfits and makeup for the pod. And I mean.
Well, but also we definitely started like during the summer and we did it with plans usually.
Right, we would record before or after plans. It was also easier when we didn't have to worry about Lila's schedule because I was just pregnant.
But now also we have to wait till Lila goes to bed.
Yeah, because of the
Unless
location.
she's not here. Yeah.
Yeah, she either can't be here or asleep. She has to be asleep.
Yeah.
Which is more complicated. And yeah, also I think when we record weekly and we record on Thursdays, sometimes we're just not in hair and makeup on Thursdays. Like,
yeah.
I don't care. It was just a funny comment that I was like, I can relate because we definitely started out stronger. But the topic or the question that they asked that I thought was funny, that would be funny, is right now, where you're at in life, if you were in a pageant and you had to do a talent, like what would your talent be? And they were doing like funny stuff, like not like an actual talent, like they dance and play instruments and whatever. So one of them said like, I would build a charcuterie board. I think that was her talent.
I relate.
And that made me think of you. And Ilona was like, I mean, they better give me like some rugby shit up there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is
funny
your
because
talent?
I feel like in college when we had those like, you know, fraternity pageants or like whatever.
We didn't do those, but
I could never participate in them because I was like, I don't have a talent. But then when we were in COVID and we did it virtually, I was like, so I think I showed it to you before. I made a Frisbee like highlight reel basically of like myself playing Frisbee. And so I played it and the guys loved it.
Of course they did.
The judges didn't choose me. I got second, which I'm still pissed about, which I'll never, ever, ever get over. It actually was like 3 years ago today. It came up in my memories. And
ouch.
Yeah, because like my best friends were in this fraternity, and so I always wanted to be Miss Patty Murphy, but I could never be it because I never had an in-person talent I could do.
No one was gonna like throw you frisbees.
No, right. So I'll show you it. It's a very cool video. But I think that I'd probably just like karaoke Bedrock or something.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Cause like it's one of those songs that's like
like they're doing like the rap section.
Well, in the rap section too, it's like there's like, you know, it says like certain words that you shouldn't say, and like I like add my little things in there, and so like it looks like rehearsed, so I feel like it's like kind of talented.
Yeah. I feel like my current talents in life, you guys, are changing my
I was just gonna say changing diapers.
My crazy toddler alligator's diaper really fast.
Or the cookies.
Yeah, I guess the cookies.
People would do that. Like, in the in-person ones, people would just, like, bring cookies.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like,
Another one of my talents is determining what Lila is saying right now. So today we're sitting on the ground, and she's pointing at the shelves, and she's saying this word, and I am, like, trying so hard to figure out what she's pointing at and what word she's saying. And I finally forgot that she was pointing and saying pumpkin. But it didn't sound like pumpkin. But I eventually figured it out. And I'm like, that is a talent that I have.
Yeah.
Is interpreting Lila-ese.
Yeah.
It was like a cute segment though that they were going through. Also their advice segment is called Sisterly Struggles. That's what it's called. When people send in advice.
Yeah, I feel like we've come up with something better than that.
I think we still haven't decided if we're actually doing this or not.
Well, it's just like if people would actually send things in.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the comments in a bit, so I haven't seen if anybody has said anything about it. Anyway, that's all I've got. Was there anything else that you wanted to chat about?
Well, now I'm like pondering names of this.
Of like advice, an
Maybe
advice
we call
segment?
it like Sisters Like You.
Sisters Like You.
And then you like be one of our sisters because we'll talk about your thing.
We'll give you sister advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
Sisters Like You. I still think a Google
form.
Because we just put it in our bio. And like we just like check weekly, and if like we don't get anything, okay, great. We just like always put a reminder.
Is it just for advice, or is it for like this debate thing you talked about?
I think, sending like, hey, like what should I do in this situation? Or hey, like I need to hear what your thoughts on this, or hey, like literally anything. We can have multiple like things.
Options.
Yeah. And then we'd be like, okay, we're sisters like you.
Okay, except we're not going to be that fucking cheesy, but also y'all, Mom just recently watched Nobody Wants This for the first time.
Mm-hmm. We
were like, Mom, that's us.
Yeah.
And she didn't get it.
Well, today she was like, oh my God, this scene. I'm like, Mom, I don't remember because I watched it when it actually came out.
When it was actually popular.
Oh, poor Mom. We're so mean.
She doesn't listen. So, like, I mean, I wish she did. I wish she listened. She knows we love her.
Okay, guys, time to hit the hay. Actually, not to hit the hay. It's only 8:30, but
time to go watch Dr. Odyssey.
Dr. Odyssey is calling our name. We got to figure out who's the daddy. Who is the daddy? Wow, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. I don't really think anybody else watches this cheesy show. Speaking of cruise ships, though, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about the Drake Passage, which is like a really choppy area of the ocean that people go to when they're going to Antarctica, like on a cruise. You know, Mom and Mark want to do that. Yeah, well, I recently have seen it because the Drake Passage is like really bad right now. Yeah. And it's like on the news. Mark wants to do it just so he can say like he went to all 7 continents, and Mom doesn't really care. Well, bless their heart, because choppy waters on a boat like that scares me, especially near Antarctica. Hello, Titanic. Oh my gosh. Though, speaking of boats, last week after we recorded, I went and saw Titanic with Sam. Oh, yeah. It's hilarious. Like, if you need... I don't think that also the tickets are probably very expensive because it's just a Chicago... It's like a small show. It's not like part of the like big Broadway shows. Mm-hmm. It's at that theater in the Water Tower Mall. But it is all Celine Dion songs, and it is basically making fun of Titanic, the movie, but with a lot of like current day jokes thrown in. So like there's like a RuPaul Drag Race section, there's like some wicked one-liners, there's like, it's hilarious. Like it was interesting. I was not expecting to like literally laugh out loud, but it was so funny. Very interesting. Now, I also love Celine Dion. I mean, Mom had that CD in her car, and so I think I listened to all of those songs like a bazillion times. But it was great. I loved it. So yeah, maybe it's not your thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I still like keep having this epiphany. Every time like things start to slow down in life, I think about how I want to get back in the theater. I know. Well, now you're writing the book, so right. So I'm like, I actually just posted a TikTok of like, hey, like get to know me, and I just like spit out random facts. I'm like, wow, I'm a business owner. I have a job. I'm writing a book. I have a podcast.
Have a niece.
She's
like
she was
almost a
mentioned. Don't
full-time
worry.
job.
I said it, and I was like, well, speaking of my sister, I have a niece, and she's my best friend. I'm not sure if I'm hers anymore.
She's going through a very clingy mommy only phase.
Okay,
she says no to everybody.
She literally goes, no,
Allie.
no. Or no, she'll go like this. She'll go, no. And we're all like, what?
No what?
Yeah, I know what. No, Allie. I'm like, I literally tickled your foot. God forbid. I can be annoying. So like, if you don't want me to touch you, like, I get it.
She's just going through a very mommy clingy
Okay, well, she
phase.
better snap out of it next Saturday.
She's gonna be at Allie's birthday party, and Allie's gonna force her to like love her.
I know, and I'm gonna be drunk, so I'm gonna be even more annoying.
You won't be drunk during the time that Lila's there.
Yes, I will.
Okay, maybe by the end of her time there, but
Yeah, you're right. I have to fix myself that day.
yeah. So by the time Lila has to leave to go to bed, hopefully you'll be in like a good buzz, and then we'll
Who's
be
taking Lila to you? Are you gonna take her home?
I'm not going all the way to the West Loop. If you were going out in the more near, I said this last week. If you were going out in the closer vicinity, I would have Sam come get her and take her home, and I would go
could
out.
start somewhere closer. Well, the thing is when Lila goes to bed, that's when the pregame actually starts, so no one's going anywhere.
Oh, that's the pregame time, not the actual going time.
I'm not going out until like 10, which you'll want to go home anyway. You will. You don't have to, but
Okay. Okay, I'll see.
Like I told Parker and whoever to come at 8.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll have Sam come get her and take her home, and then
There'll be lots to drink.
I will stay for a bit. I'm definitely not going to the West Loop, is my point.
Yeah, I personally don't want to go to the West Loop
So why are you going to that bar?
because it's just the best bar right now.
Okay, but you don't have to go to the best bar if it's fucking far.
Okay, let's be done.
Okay, if you made it all the way to the end, just because, what were you gonna say?
I forgot we were recording on my birthday. I was going to say you're not going to, when you listen to this, it'll be my birthday. Or it'll already have been my birthday.
Yeah, when they listen to this, it will be the day after your birthday.
Oh, so happy birthday to me. So do,
like any of the birthday emojis, the cake, or the balloon.
I personally
okay.
really like the little like emoji with the party hat blowing the little.
Woo!
Yeah, do that one for me.
For Allie.
So.
Happy birthday, Allie.
25. Quarter life crisis. Thank God my frontal lobe is going to be developed soon.
Thank God.
I just didn't know what to say there for a second.
What is the word I'm looking for?
Make sure you cut out my feet. I don't want free feet pics.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, don't keep that in there.
Okay, why are you looking at that right now while we're literally in the middle of recording?
Oh.
How is there a bug in my house? Where did you come from?